Welcome to Department of Botany, Sirampur Girls College. Myself, Dr. Madhusree Haldar. Our topic of discussion is pteridophyte. Today we discussed about the diagnostic characters of some division of pteridophytes. Uh, let's start with the meaning of pteridophytes. Pteridophyte is a Greek word. Uh, in this word, there are two words actually. One is pteron and another one is phyton. Pteron means feather and phyton means plants. They are considered as the first true land plants evolved after bryophyte, and actually they evolved from bryophyte. Pteridophytes are called botanical snakes or snake of plant kingdom because their morphologies look like a snake. Actually, most of the species of pteridophyte are creeper or um, look like a snake. Next thing is the general characters of pteridophyte. We have to know the general characters of pteridophyte. Uh, Number one is pteridophytes are the most primitive seedless vascular plants that reproduce by means of spores. Uh, and there are two types. One is homosporous and another one is heterosporous. In case of homosporous, all the spores are morphologically and functionally alike, and in case of heterosporous, they are morphologically as well as functionally different, and they are actually known as vascular cryptogams because in this group we first find the vascular tissues, proper vascular tissues, and one more thing is that they depend on external source of water for their fertilization. Maximum pteridophytes lacking the secondary growth. There are some exceptions. In case of Lepidodendron and Calamites, we find the vascular growth. Next point is the maximum pteridophytic plant body morphologically um, is sporophytic, which is very dominant phase, and the gametophytic phase is short, uh, but they are independent of each other. Sporophytic plant body provided with root, actually true root, shoot and leaves. Here one more thing is, in case of maximum pteridophyte, leaves are of two types. One is vegetative and another one is reproductive. Vegetative leaves again are of three types: megaphylous, microphylous and scale leaves, while the mm, reproductive leaves are of two types. One is called a microphylous leaf, another one is megaphylous leaf. Mm, Next is the development of sporangium are of two types. Sporangiums actually the structure which bears spores. So here the development of sporangium are of two type. One is called eusporangiate type development, another one is called leptosporangiate type of development. So what is eusporangiate type of development? Eusporangiate type of development means the sporangia developed from a group of epidermal cell and not from a single cell, as we found in xylotum. But leptosporangiate on the other hand means where the sporangia developed from a single epidermal cell but not from group of cells or two cells. This condition is found in pteris and diapteris and many other ferns. Next thing is stele. Maximum cases are we find that protostele and siphonostele condition. Protostele means The simple primitive arrangement of conducting tissue consisting of a solid cylinder of xylem surrounded by a layer of phloem found in certain lower group of plant or primitive group of pteridophyte as in Xylotum, and Siphonostele is comparatively advanced type of stele. In this type, the vascular tissue is in form of a cylinder surrounding a pith, as in the stem of most ferns and other seedless vascular plant, example pteris. Here the vascular cryptogams or the pteridophytes are divided by Gifford and Foster in the year 1989, and this classification system was published in his book Morphology of Vascular Plant. They described the classification process of vascular cryptogams on the basis of their morphology and their vascular tissue system. And in this classification system, they divide vascular cryptogams or tracheophyte into 7 subdivision. They are rhiniophyte, zosterophyllophyte, trimerophyta, xylophyta, lycophyta, sphenophyta and filicophyta. In rhinophyta, the fossil member we find is Rhinia. That is the picture of Rhinia. In Zosterophyllophyta, one fossil member is found, that is Zosterophyllum, and that is the morphology of Zosterophyllum. In Timerophyta, one fossil member is found, that is Trimerophyton. We find the fossil of Trimerophyton, and morphologically it is look like that kind of. And Xylophyta is a living subdivision, and the living member of Xylophyta is Xylotum. That is the morphological view of Xylotum. In case of Lycophyta, there are fossil members are there, and living members are also there. In fossil member, one fossil member is Lepidodendron, and the living members are one is Selaginella and another one is Lycopodium. That is the morphological view of Selaginella and Lycopodium respectively. In case of Sphenophyta, one example of fossil member is Calamites, and living member is Equisetum, and that is the morphological picture of Equisetum. In case of Filicophyta, living members are found, and that is the most advanced Dryapteris. Living members are Pteris and Dryapteris. That is the morphological figure of Pteris and another one fern. So our first subdivision that we have to know, that is the one living subdivision is Xylophyta. The first diagnostic character of Xylophyta is sporophytic plant body is differentiated into two parts. One is underground rhizome and aerial parts. Underground rhizome anchors the plant with substratum and absorb nutrients, and on the aerial parts, scaly leaves are spirally arranged. Next is the stem has central protostele or siphonostele. No secondary growth take place because cambium is absent. At the center of the stem there is a sclerenchymatous pith. Sporangia development is eusporangia type, and next is sporangia trilocular and homosporous, and the gametophytic plants are dichotomously branched and subterranean. Gametophytes are generally live as saprophyte. Presence of mycorrhizal association is found within gametophyte. Example Xylotum. That is a morphological view of Xylotum. And that is the trilocular sporangia on the aerial parts of Xylotum. Next subdivision is Lycophyta. The first diagnostic character of Lycophyta is the sporophytic plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Stem dichotomously branched. Number 2, stem of sporophytic plant surrounded by spirally arranged microphyllous leaf. Next, at the center of the stem there is a protostele and xylem exarch. Next thing is sporangiums are born singly or on the dorsal side of the sporophylls. Next, sporophylls are ligulated or illigulated. Ligulated member is Selaginella, and the example of illigulated member, that is without ligule, is Lycopodium. Spores are either similar in size and function, that is homosporous, example is Lycopodium, or different in shape and size and also in function, that is heterosporous, example Selaginella. That is the morphological view of the sporophytic plant body of Selaginella, and that is the section of, that is a transverse section of the strobilus of Selaginella, that showing the heterosporous condition, that is the microspore and megaspore both are found, while that is morphological picture of Lycopodium, and that is the strobilus or strobili of Lycopodium. The next subdivision is Sphenophyta. The first diagnostic character of Sphenophyta is very much important because in that case first time we saw the node and internode system, and the internodal portion have ridges and furrows. Next, leaves are arranged in whorls surrounding the nodal portion. Next, branches are also aggregated surrounding the nodes. Next, sporangia are arranged on ventral surface of a surrounded disc-like structure called sporangiophore. Sporangiophores are closely arranged surrounding a central axis to form a strobilus. Next point is maximum members of this division are homosporous except some fossil members like Calamites, and here multiflagellated sperms are found. Next is gametophytic plant body, exosporic, that is development of gametophyte after dispersal of spores from sporangia. Interestingly, the division is represented by only one living genus, that is Equisetum, and have 18 extinct form including Calamites, Annularia, etc. That is the morphological picture of Equisetum, and that is the strobilus or strobili of Equisetum. The advanced subdivision of Pteridophyta is Filicophyta or the fern division. The first diagnostic character of Filicophyta is maximum members are terrestrial, some members grown as epiphytes or parasite, or some members are aquatic also. Sporophytic plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. They are generally perennial. Sporophytic plant possesses hard branched rhizome, but they are small in size. Leaves are megaphyllous, pinnately compound, and pinnae arranged upon a distinct rachis. This type of leaves are called frond. There are many small brown colored hair like structure on the rachis called ramenta. That is the sporophytic plant body of Pteris. And one more diagnostic character of Filicophyta is the succinate vernation found in immature font, that is the young font when developed they shows a rolled and incurled structure, that is the succinate vernation, and this is the picture of succinate vernation. Stelae are generally siphonostellic, but dictyostelae, polycyclic stelae or solanostelae may also found in some members. Sporangia are compactly arranged on the dorsal side of the font in the form of sorus. In some members, a continuous line of sori are found at the edge of the font. This type of sori are called sinosori or sinosorus. That is the picture of sinosori, and in the bottommost picture shows the sorus. Sporangia are generally stalked. In the sporangial one, there are two types of cell. One is thick-walled cell layer, that is annulus, and the another one is called stomium, that consists of thin-walled cells, which has important role in spore dispersal of ferns. That's all about today. Thank you.